Good afternoon, Judge Grace. Felix Patterson is in the waiting room. He wanted to let you know that he is in the process of signing on.
Okay.
So,
I wasn't aware that this app had a waiting room, but we'll see. We'll make that work.
okay, I'm on the other line with him, so I'm just going to swap over and touch base with him just to make sure that he's getting in.
Okay. Um, can I ask who is signed in by phone number with a 216 area code?
Oh, I am, Your Honor. Sorry, there's
Okay.
construction at my house, so just in case it starts, I'm going to turn my computer off and go into my phone.
Sure, no worries.
Thank you.
Do we have a court reporter? Hi, I see you. Okay, we can go on the record.
We're on the record, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're here today in case number 9508P with the Maryland Public Service Commission. The case is styled in the matter of the continuing investigation of the electric fuel rate and purchase power cost adjustment charges of the municipal electric system of the Mayor and Council of Berlin. My name is Jennifer Grace. I'm the public utility law judge assigned to handle this matter. We'll start with appearances and we'll start with Berlin. You're going to have to unmute. There you go.
I knew that would happen. I'm so sorry. Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Phyllis Kimmel. I'm with my own law firm, the Phyllis D. Kimmel Law Office in Washington, D.C. I'm here on behalf of the Mayor and Council of the Town of Berlin, Maryland. With me here today is or was, he may have just disappeared, the town's mayor, Zach Tyndall. It looks like he might be having some technical difficulties. And also with me here is the town administrator, Jeffrey Fleetwood. And I also have one witness here this afternoon, Stephen A. Miller.
Thank you, Ms. Kimmel. I note that, let's see, Mayor Tyndall, it says that he has a low bandwidth, so video is not available, but he should be able to hear the hearing today, and he may even be able to see us. Okay. And he's back on. Okay, OPC?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Michael Sammartino. I'm here on behalf of OPC, and with me attending this hearing is Joseph Claver.
Welcome. And staff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Catherine Moriarty for Commission staff. Staff will be putting on the testimony of Mr. Felix Patterson, and staff witness Kevin Mosier is present. Mr. Mosier did not file any testimony in this case. However, he is present to answer any questions on procurement issues.
Okay, excellent. Before we get started with witnesses, I think the Berlin has certificates of publication that need to be marked and admitted.
Yes, Your Honor. Yesterday on December 20th, Berlin filed the certificate of publication in this docket. And I would like that to be marked as Berlin Exhibit 1 and entered into the record.
Okay, those were filed under mail log number 238266 and will be marked as Berlin Exhibit 1. Are there any objections to its admission? Hearing none, Berlin Exhibit 1 is admitted. So you can go ahead and call your first witness.
Sure. My first and only witness is Stephen A. Miller. And I would like to, if this is the right time, I would like to give the attestation that Mr. Miller is alone in a separate room and not in communication with any other individual at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony will be the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can go ahead.
Sure. Can you please state your name and title and your business address?
I'm Stephen A. Miller. I'm a financial consultant with Booth and Associates. My business address is 5811 Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, North Carolina.
And could you briefly describe your professional background?
Yes, I'm a graduate of San Jose State University with a degree in mathematics. And for the last 20 years, I have been providing financial services to predominantly small municipalities and electric utilities.
Okay, thank you. Do you have in front of you a document
Hold
that,
Hold one second. I'm having trouble hearing Mr. Miller. He has to lean in closer or something. There's some disturbance on the line.
Okay,
So Mr. Miller, what's happening is the volume on your computer is getting picked up by the application. So I don't know if you can hear, if you would be able to hear if you turn down your volume a little bit, or you might have to mute when you're not speaking.
okay. I turn my volume down a little bit and I'll try to mute when I'm not speaking.
Okay, sounds good. Sorry to interrupt.
no problem. Let's see. Do you have in front of you a document that is the pre-filed direct testimony on behalf of the town Berlin in case number 9508P, dated December 15th, 2021, along with the attachment exhibit SAM1?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you prepare this testimony and exhibit?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would like Mr. Miller's testimony, including the attachment, marked as Berlin Exhibit number 2. Hmm.
It is so marked. Is there any objection to the submission at this time?
No objection, Your Honor.
Hearing none, Mr. Miller's direct is marked and admitted.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, do you have any changes or correction to your testimony?
No changes or correction.
Okay. And if you were asked the same questions as you were asked in the pre-filed written testimony, and you were requested to provide the same information contained in the pre-filed attachment, would your answers and information provided be the same as it were as it was when it was pre-filed?
Yes, they would be the same.
Okay. You've already admitted the exhibit number 2, and Mr. Miller is available for cross-examination.
Office of People's Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. And we just have a very brief line of questioning. Good afternoon, Mr. Miller. So if you could please refer to page 2 of your testimony. On lines 31 through 33, you state that the town of Berlin generates approximately 0.9% of its annual energy requirement by running its own peaking plant. Is this correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And on lines 34 to 35 of your testimony on the same page, you state that the town's peaking plant is operated mainly to reduce PJM capacity and transmission obligations. Is that still correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. And so are you aware that PJM sets capacity and transmission charges annually based on a customer's average demand during the 5 highest peak demand hours, also referred to as the 5 coincidental peak or 5CP?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So now if you could please refer to the exhibit marked OPC1 that we sent out earlier today. This exhibit contains Town of Berlin's purchase power summary for 2019 through 2020 submitted in last year's actual cost adjustment proceeding. And if you look at the energy table, it's on the bottom left of that exhibit. You can see that from October 2019 through May 2020, the 5CP was 2,669 kilowatts. And from June 2020 through September 2020, the 5CP decreased to 2,472 kilowatts. So is it correct that from 2019 through 2020, the 5CP decreased by 197 kilowatts, or about 7%?
That is correct.
Okay. So now if you could refer to the energy charges table on the same exhibit, is it true that capacity charges did not exceed $14,500 per month, and for the 2019 through 2020 period totaled $133,242.
Can you state that question again, please?
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
Folks,
Back and forth.
hang on just 1 second. Mr. Sammartino, is this a document confidential?
This document is not confidential, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share the document so that folks can see what we're talking about.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm flipping between screens there.
Yep, no problem. Let me just get rid of these boxes. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I'm
So,
gonna ask the question again.
okay, so Mr. Miller, so if you take a look at the capacity charges column in the middle of the page, you can see that from October 2019 through May 2021, for the entire time period, the capacity charges did not exceed $14,500 per month, and the total capacity charges for all of 2019 through 2020 totaled $133,000 and $133,242. This is still correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now moving on to the exhibit we sent earlier, marked OPC2. This contains the purchase power summary for 2020 through 2021. It's also submitted by the town of Berlin in this proceeding. And so again, if you look at the energy table on the bottom left of the exhibit, you'll see that from October 2020 through May 2021, the 5CP remained at 2,472 kilowatts. But from June 2021 through September 2021, the 5CP more than doubled to 5,215 kilowatts, excuse me. And then when you look at the energy cost table on the same exhibit, you can see that the capacity charges totaled for that time period $219,114. So is it true that the annual capacity charges from 2019 to 2021 increased by more than $85,000 as compared to the previous time period?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Miller, could you explain the sharp increase in 5CP and capacity charges from 2021 compared to 2020?
There are a number of factors that go into the capacity prices. The capacity obligation is set the previous summer, and the rates are also set by Delmarva and PJM. Well, Delmarva sets the transmission rate, PJM sets the capacity rates, and those rates tend to fluctuate, sometimes significantly. The town also lost one of its generators that had a major malfunction, and they were able to get a replacement for it, but they were still shy a little bit on the amount of peaking that they could do. And so that affected partially the increase in capacity. Plus, it was just a hotter time of the year than the previous year. The peak was just higher in that year, and they could only cut so much with their peaking generators. The capacity rates fluctuated pretty greatly. From 2018-19, it was $226 a kW a day, and then it went down in 2019-20 to $117 per kW a day. And then for 2021, it went up to $187 per kW a day. So the capacity rate increased greatly during that time period. That also affected the capacity charges greatly.
Okay, thank you. And so, do you know if the issue with the town of Berlin's generator has that been resolved, or is town of Berlin still down one generator?
The town of Berlin is down one generator. They lost, if I'm remembering right, They lost one generator in 2019, and they have been able to replace that. It was a 1.6 megawatt generator, and they've replaced it. It was a 1.6 megawatt diesel generator, and it was replaced with a 2 megawatt natural gas generator, so much cleaner. And then they lost another generator in the summer of 2020, and we are working on getting that replaced. We are currently working with a grant with the NDE to see if we can qualify to replace that generator with the grant. We have a couple of other options if the grant doesn't come through. And that's how we're trying to get that generation back for people.
Okay, so and I'm a little confused. So you stated that in 2020, Town of Berlin lost or 2019, Town of Berlin lost one generator and then replaced that with another generator. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Could you sorry.
I'm sorry, to replace the following summer.
Okay. So then how do you account for if Town of Berlin is still down one generator currently, how is it that there was such a sharp increase in the 5CP from 2020 to 2021 as compared through 2019 to 2020?
I believe it was much warmer this summer, and the overall peak was higher than the previous summer.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Mr. Miller. Your Honor, OPC has no further questions. And since exhibits 1 through 2 were marked for referential purposes, OPC doesn't request that they be admitted as evidence.
Okay. Staff, do you have any cross-examination?
Staff has no cross for Mr. Miller.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kimmel, do you have any redirect? I can see you talking, Ms. Kimmel, but you're gonna have to unmute yourself. We're having trouble this
Sorry,
afternoon.
I swore I wouldn't do that again. Mr. Miller, just very briefly, is there anything else about the difference between the two different time periods that OPC counsel was asking about that you feel would clarify the difference in the dollar amounts?
I think the difference in dollar amounts, the capacity rate increased from $117 a kW a day to $187 a kW a day. And then also it was a warmer summer and the peak was just higher on that particular year, which caused it to be more than the loss of the generator.
Thank you. Your Honor, I have no further redirect.
You're on mute yourself.
Mr. Miller, I don't have any questions for you this afternoon. I thank you for your time and you are released. Does Office of People's Counsel have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Staff.
Yes, Your Honor. Commission staff calls staff witness Mr. Felix Patterson to the stand, please.
Mr. Patterson, are you with us? I'm not sure that Mr. Patterson is on the line.
Your Honor, may staff request a brief recess to contact Mr. Patterson? I believe he's still having technical difficulties.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, just testing audio and checking for the court reporter. Doug, are you there? It's Sabrina.
Hello?
Hi, Your Honor. Staff witness Felix Patterson is called in. He is still unable to log on to the WebEx. I apologize for this inconvenience and appreciate everyone's patience while we got him to call in.
Is there any, Mr. Patterson, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, good afternoon. Is there any objection to
Yes.
Mr. Patterson testifying by telephone with no video? Hearing
No
none.
objection.
Can I go on the record now, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Now that we're on the record, is there any objection to Mr. Patterson testifying without video?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
None here.
So, thank you. So, let's see, Miss Moriarty. I'm sorry, I may get your name wrong a few times. Do you have an attestation?
Yes, Mr. Patterson, can you attest that you are by yourself providing this testimony without the instruction or influence of any other person?
That is correct.
Okay. Mr. Patterson, can you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Moriarty.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Peterson.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Patterson, by whom are you employed and in what division?
I'm employed by the State of Maryland Public Service Commission. I'm in the County Investigation Division.
Do you have before you a document captioned case number 9508P titled Direct Testimony of Felix L. Patterson on behalf of the staff of the Public Service Commission of Maryland, dated December 17, 2021, consisting of 10 pages and Exhibit Attachment A filed under mail log number 238247?
Yes, I do.
Was this document written by you or prepared under your supervision?
Yes, it was.
Do you have any changes or corrections to this document?
No, I do not.
Is the information contained in the testimony true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
If asked the same questions today under oath, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
Do you adopt these documents as part of your sworn testimony in this proceeding?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. Your Honor, staff requests that Mr. Patterson's direct testimony and attachments be marked as Staff Exhibit Number 1 and moved into the evidentiary record.
Staff Exhibit 1 is marked. Is there any objection to Staff Exhibit 1 being admitted into the record?
No objection, Your Honor.
None.
Thank you. Staff Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Staff Witness Patterson is available for cross-examination.
Okay, thank you. Office of People's Counsel.
No questions from Office of People's Counsel, Your Honor.
Ms. Kimmel.
No questions from Berlin, Your Honor.
I also have no questions for Mr. Patterson. So thank you, Mr. Patterson, for your appearance this morning, and you can be released.
Thank you very much.
Office of People's Counsel, what is your position on the, I should say it correctly, on the hang on just 1 second. What, Office of People's Counsel, what is your position on the requested credit factor of 0.00140 kilowatt hours?
We have no objections to it, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other matters that we need to take up this morning or this afternoon? Hearing none, thank you everyone for your appearance today. And this matter is concluded. We can go off the record. Thank you.
Off the record, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.